Should guys be on child support? I know it's a very broad question, but what you think?
Yes. Oh, should guys be on child support? It depends on the situation.
I
It
agree.
depends
Circumstances.
on the parents. It depends. I mean, it shouldn't just be guys. It could be women too. It depends on who has custodial custody of
Hmm.
the child. I feel like,
Yeah, I
and
agree. I definitely agree. Definitely depends on the situation. Um, you might have, the parents aren't together anymore. One might live out of state, so
Do you
you
think
need
that's
that
the main
support.
reason though? Like not being together? What if so? What if y'all both make equal amounts of money?
Hmm.
Do you think it's okay to just say, all right, we're not together anymore. You pay that, I pay that. Let's leave the courts out of it.
No, I don't agree with that. I agree that you should try to come to some type of agreement, mutual agreement. Try to work it out between the two of you first. If that doesn't work, then you got to have somebody
but
else
that's when you
step
need,
in.
not to cut you off, but that's when you need two high functioning parents
Yeah.
because it's easy. That's easier said than done.
Yes,
It's
it is.
easy for you to say, oh yeah, we can come to an agreement. However, most times, and we see this situations very broadly all
Hmm.
over, where most people who are no longer in a relationship cannot come to an agreement, and that is why it ends up in court
I agree.
because they can't.
Yeah.
But that's not all situations.
Right.
So, right.
I just
True.
feel like when it's that situation, when it's like, people making decent amount of money or whatever, why go to child support if you can agree to something unless you're just bitter, you
Right.
know?
That's the point
But
I was trying to get. Like if you can come to the agreement
Yeah.
and you guys have no problem with, you know, all right, I'll pay for the school clothes this season, and then
Yeah.
you could do the sneakers. If you could come to that agreement, I don't see the reason to bring the courts involved and go to child support.
right.
If you can't, and one parent is taking, you know, the butt of everything,
Yeah.
then we gotta go. We gotta go.
I mean, that's given a good circumstance or a circumstance where a father's not doing what they're supposed to do,
Hmm.
and that's in that case, right?
Or mother.
Or a mother, but
Hmm.
in Connecticut, it's a
It's a
woman's state,
woman's state.
and it's real like that. It's
I
definitely a woman's
totally
state.
agree with
It's for
that.
sure.
Yes.
So it's not it's not easy to deal with the child support court as a man
In Connecticut.
in Connecticut, especially and then even furthermore, all right, a shitty father, well, fuck them. You know what I mean? They deserve it. They
Hmm.
deserve to get wrung out. But a father who's very in tune with his child or whatever the case may be, it's easy to get really taken advantage of in that
They're gonna
sense.
give you the same treatment though.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this: what is a father that's really in tune? Like, what is your definition of a father? Like, I want to know, like, from your standpoint, a father who is in tune in their child's life. Like, what does that entail, in a
I think
sense?
it's two
Someone being a
brackets.
father.
Okay.
All right,
It's
like
probably
you know
like
what I mean?
everything that you were doing when y'all were together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's that's really the issue. Like it does change when you have your own that you have to pay for. If you were going 50-50,
Right.
50-50,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or whatever. My situation, there was no 50-50. It was me with everything and still got hung out to dry. Like that, and that's
A
what I don't
lot.
respect about it. Cause you go in there and they treat you like everybody that's sitting behind you, which is
Treat you like shit.
crazy that they sitting right behind you and can hear every, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that is.
Every father of color that goes through the system, well, I'm just gonna say in our time, like you really don't have a fucking chance right out the gate. You really gotta fight hard.
You do.
Depending on the state, because in my
In this state,
situation,
in this state.
in my situation, I have an out of state case.
So that's a little bit different.
So
Get tricky
that's
because you gotta
definitely
abide by
different.
where they
Different.
are
You
and
have
this
to
and that, et cetera,
abide,
et cetera.
and
Yep.
certain states are
What?
not. I have
Different.
an
Yeah, if you
out of
gotta
state
tell
So
case.
another,
What state is it?
Pennsylvania. And
see, I don't know nothing
Pennsylvania is
about that.
not a woman's state.
And North Carolina is also not a woman's state. You have to abide by their laws and how they enforce the case.
so you're saying that he's from Pennsylvania?
So he resides in Pennsylvania. So because he resides in Pennsylvania, the our case has to go through Pennsylvania court because he's employed in Pennsylvania, so they have to go through a Pennsylvania court.
So
Court.
what about
But
Connecticut? It
so I have to file it through Connecticut. Connecticut has to then send it through to Pennsylvania court, and then it's a battle between that.
That's weird.
So I
it
have to
just
go to
like-
court in Pennsylvania if
So
I
Connecticut
want
doesn't
anything.
matter.
No, Connecticut is just
What?
my voice.
Yeah.
He's lucky.
Wow.
He's very lucky.
He's fucking
When you
lucky.
pay $6 a week, you're
Oh.
very lucky.
$6 a week. Give me that. Give me that.
Very, very lucky.
Six-
Yes.
I pay you up for the year
Every year.
Yeah, but then you
What
got
you
some
need?
that don't
Put a
pay
little
up.
on it.
You got some that don't pay up for the year,
Yeah.
and
For the hassle
then you
of it.
gotta go. You gotta go and you gotta go in front of the court and say, Judge, his order is $6 a week, but he's behind.
Oh no, it's real. I seen it.
How are you
Ex-
behind?
Exactly.
I
That-
seen it.
That's
So
like
this is why I'm very passionate about this
Yep.
because it's tricky.
It is.
You know, like
See, I didn't
It
know
is.
that.
I
That's
agree.
crazy.
You
It's
know what I mean?
very
And I agree, and I can imagine the hardship that mothers go through, and the different reasons on why you need the support, or or
Right.
the reason on why you would go down in the system, right? Like I was saying, all right, it's horrible being on this side. That's the word, horrible. I ain't said that before. It's fucking horrible
Mhm.
because like why? Like I almost have to prove my love to my daughter to a bunch of fucking strangers. All right, and then continuously do that shit, and then no matter what mom says, well, mom could say anything,
Mhm.
and then I get fucked up. I've been fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, it got, we can get there, but it's gotten to the point where the court removed me from the home that I was staying in. How was that, right? It's like shit is real. It's crazy. That system is really, really fucking bad. It's not meant to really support the child. I feel like it's meant to attack. I feel like it's really just a tool of attack, not really a support system. Because if you're a real support system, why the fuck would you fuck one parent up completely? All right, now I get it. If there's a father or if there's a parent who's not doing their part or not holding their side down or whatever the case is, you get what you got coming because everybody agreed to have that kid or whatever, right? But for a parent who's avidly trying to be a part of that child's life and doing the right things and stuff like that, but the other parent, I'll just say, I'm not gonna put it on their gender, the other parent who brought you down to that system, they use that shit as a plan, as a ploy for control. You know what I mean? The vision gets lost immediately once you get that support behind you. And I think that, the abuse behind it is really savage.
So was your
Savage.
court experience terrible?
Fucking horrible.
Just being in court,
He said,
period.
he said that like 3 times. It's horrible.
Horrible.
So do you
Nah,
feel like
horrible.
if you put yourself on child support, would it have went in your favor, or do you feel like it would have went the other way?
Is there a favor? Like, is there any type of cons to putting yourself on? first?
Absolutely not.
That's why
I'm
never.
trying to figure that out too, because I
I
hear a
never
lot of
heard
people
about
say, go do it before she do, or
Right.
before he do.
You
know
still
what I'm
making the
saying?
same
If you're
amount of money. You still gotta have
So
to
I'm
fill
just
out the
trying to
same
figure out,
affidavit.
like, do you think the outcome would have been better if you went down there and said, you know what?
Yeah, because it's
Mhm.
easier to fight as a plaintiff
Okay.
than a defendant
Mhm.
in that system.
Here's my thing.
And it,
I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me
nah, we talking.
No, so I don't agree. I don't think that it's a pro to take yourself and bring yourself to put yourself on child support, because I work for a law firm, and it is always easier to make an agreement between, the non-custodial parent,
Mhm.
or both parents.
Mhm.
Get it in writing, text, some kind of agreement where it's physically signed by both of you guys, or some kind of text message confirming, email, something, and you having that agreement. And whatever you guys decide, so if you say you're paying $60 a week or $50 a week or whatever the order is that you guys have for among yourselves without the court,
Yep.
as long as you can have proof that you were paying that, every single week or every single month or however you guys make that arrangement, it's always better to do it that way. Once you get the courts involved, no matter if you're the plaintiff, even though I feel like if you felt as if it would be better if you were the plaintiff.
No, I not to cut you off.
Mhm.
I feel like it would have been better if I would have been the plaintiff as opposed to doing this ride as the defendant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already in this shit, right?
Right.
Because it's hard to get them to listen to me,
Mhm.
no matter how much sense I'm making.
Mhm.
It took me years before they really actually listened to what I was trying to say,
Mhm.
and and then things change or whatever. But we can get to that. But I agree with you. Like if you can, clearly, if you're gonna make an agreement with the parent, I mean, between two parents, like that's always gonna be better, as long as it's being upheld.
Until one argument happens.
That's all you need, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's over after that. It's over.
But I
All
wanted
right?
to ask you a question. So say you do have, well, I don't know the answer. I'm just say you do come up with that agreement through text, blah blah blah. Do they still make you pay in arrears if they still?
Well,
make
if
you-
that's the agreement that
could.
you and that parent made previously, and if you guys made that agreement on January 1st of 2023,
Right.
and you've been making your payments throughout that entire time, from when the child was born, then no, you wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to go back for arrears because that was the agreement that you guys agreed upon.
made agreement.
Right.
Right.
So if
But it's gotta be in writing.
yeah, that's what I'm
right.
saying, if it's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
writing, yeah.
Got to be in
Right.
writing.
It gotta be
have
right.
to have proof because
Have
I've
proof.
seen cases where the parent go for child support and go for arrears, but the father brings money order receipts and
Yep.
stuff like that, and that works in the male's favor because
Absolutely.
the
I've
judge
also-
is kind
I've-
of like, why are you coming for child support if he's been paying you? And I've seen it work in
I've seen
people's
that.
favor.
I have seen that, but I've also seen them say, "Oh well, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not gonna count
Yeah.
that." All right.
I guess
Right.
it
I've
depends
seen
on the
that shit.
judge's day.
Like, they don't give a
Judge.
fuck. Like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
On the
you know what I mean?
judge's day.
It depends on your judge.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
It depends
For
on
real.
your judge and
Like,
how
I've had
they're
some-
feeling
some-
that
some
day.
fucked
Which
up
is
judges.
really,
I've had
it's
some
really
better
messed
judges.
up that the judges really do, they
It's
have
really
a
up to the
yeah.
judge's discretion.
Hell
Discretion,
yeah.
of course.
Like, and they don't like guys in
Do you-
in New Haven court.
You think it really matters if you go down there with a lawyer?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I do,
Absolutely.
bro. It do. And not, yo, if I'd have known that, when I was,
My bro.
well, when I went to I got into the system when I was 22, all right, and like I said, we could talk about it. We'll get to it though. But I was 22 when I got into the system, and by the time I was 24, a lot of shit happened in those 2 years. A lot of shit happened, and ultimately they gave me an ultimatum to leave my house, and it was a custody thing. My daughter ended up coming to stay with me, but my big mother said I smoked weed, and the court didn't want me around my daughter. They took my custody, et cetera, et cetera. They like, they're fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit
Fast
probably.
forward, fast forward, weed is legal.
That's what I'm about to say. It probably.
For the same thing that's legal right now, they took my custody away from me and put me through fucking hell. You know what I mean? Hell.
Now what about
Wait, can we just hold on?
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick?
go ahead, go ahead.
I
We
mean,
just
I'm
go back
about
to
to.
the lawyer part.
We can get back to that.
Listen, if you're walking into the court for anything, I don't care if
I
it's
wish.
a DUI or anything like that, you go with an attorney. And here's the reason why. Like, granted, like
wish I did.
I know a lot of people may say like, oh, I can't afford an attorney, because that's a lot of times that's what people say. They say like, oh, there's a retainer fee. I gotta pay this. If I can't pay my child support, what makes you think I can pay this? I guarantee you, if you walk into court with an attorney, you're going to save yourself so much more money in the long run than that retainer fee or whatever you pay for your attorney. Guarantee you.
But as a 22, 21-year-old, hell,
Don't
even
know
nowadays, fucking 18,
A lot
19-year-old,
of people don't know.
who the fuck, they're telling you, like, right now, all right, boom, the concept, yo, you got to pay this $2,000 to the attorney, right? Retainer, whatever. Could
Yeah.
be a little bit more, whatever, right?
Right.
But as an 18-year-old fucking working at Wendy's second job type of shit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have 2,000.
Yeah, I
ain't
get it.
gonna have 2,000. Period. And I
Right.
don't know
Get
how
it.
to get 2,000. I never had it in my hands.
Right.
that
All
is the fucked up part. Like,
All right, so
go ahead.
fathers don't get no assistance. There's all types of assistance for mothers to attack the fathers. If they ain't got no attorney, they getting help. All right, the courtroom makes sure that mothers are fully supported.
Well, I would say
Fathers
that
don't get no support.
as a mother, I mean, I don't. If you know any services where they're providing free legal assistance or helping assistance with like retainers or attorney fees, you can let me know.
They don't need them. Y'all don't need them.
I mean-
They walking y'all through the whole process and they backing y'all up 100% all the way out the door.
I agree. Yeah,
Come on, man.
It is,
All right,
it
and
is
then when
a
you
woman- it is a
when you
woman.
get to court, when you leave court, they making sure that you leaving with your EBT, your WIC, everything, all that shit, everything that you can get, your ass leaving with that shit already lined up.
They
What
can't
about
pay-
if you have the custody of the child as a father? Are they lining that
I
up for
had
you?
custody of my daughter for 8 years.
Have they did they line
Nobody
that up
ever
for you?
sat me down and gave me WIC, no EBT, no insurance, all right, no none of that shit.
Never
I ain't
offered
get
it?
nothing. Never offered nothing. All right, and they all know I got custody.
let me ask
Never
you
had
this.
none of that shit. Nothing.
I mean, I don't want to be in your financial business,
good?
but were you making a decent? I mean, I'm assuming you were making a decent amount of money because as a woman, I'm as a woman, I'm telling you this right now. I've never got state of Connecticut assistance.
Mm-hmm.
I have never ever gotten
Food stamps.
none of those services. I've never had it.
Yeah.
I took care of my daughter without assistance for a very long time, and never one time did I ever get it. Not because they never told me about it. I knew about it, but I knew with what I make, I knew I wasn't going to qualify for it. So
Right.
I don't know your financial situation, but I think a lot of times when they do that affidavit process and they ask the women like, okay, how much do you make? I'm sure you filled out in Connecticut.
Did we?
And to be honest, like she was saying, like with the affidavit, if you're making more than the father, then they expect more from me. My situation, they expect more from me because I make more than him. So
Yes.
I'm the provider of the insurance.
But that's
I'm the
awesome
provider
because
of
you got
all of
that
that.
other state involved.
Yeah, I mean,
had
yeah,
that shit been
so-
in Connecticut, that shit wouldn't have went like that.
So let me say this.
I can't say that, but just from what I
Hold on.
I don't think it might have.
You on child support?
No, I
Yeah.
have him on child support, but because I make more than him, I'm responsible for the insurance. Because you know how like they usually say the father should be responsible for the insurance. No,
Okay.
because I make more, so I'm
So
responsible for the insurance.
$6 in. So you're
$6.
basically
No,
putting
they
out
robbing.
everything. Basically.
Yeah, and he's just basically
Fucking
$6.
$6.
Your
Yeah,
situation
basically
is
with the $6.
absolutely terrible. And if I were
Terrible.
you, I would request a modification immediately because
Yeah, that takes time, and at the same time,
That
it's
is
like I already
crazy.
know Pennsylvania is gonna go for him. So what they're gonna boost it up to $20? That's a waste of my time,
Yeah.
What the fuck
honestly.
are they even doing?
You know,
That's
That's
they don't.
crazy.
It's not.
Wow.
They're not pro child support.
You're gonna have me go look up all them laws.
Yeah,
because of
they're
that.
not.
I was about to say I gotta read that
Crazy.
shit now.
They're
So I'm
not
like,
pro
yo,
child support.
Yeah.
that's no that.
It
I mean, there's
doesn't-
levels to it. I am not against child support.
Right.
All right, make no mistake. I am not against that shit. All right, I don't like the abuse that comes with it. All right, on there's different levels to it, but
for active fathers,
Right,
fathers,
active fathers.
Yes.
I don't like the
Right.
abuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause I know I was paying my child support, and then I was still making sure that, I was still forking up. So it's like, where the fuck the money go?
But that's where I'll be twisted on it. I'm like, once y'all break up,
Everything changes.
it ain't even like, and sorry if this comes off crazy, but females don't even give you a chance to adjust. Like
Nope.
to being
Next
single.
day, nigga.
You a deadbeat because, now that you got to get your own shit and money might be tight, you don't give a fuck about your kid? I do, but it's like,
gotta get right.
let
So
me
then
get
that's-
my shit right, but now I got to go down to court because you won't let me get my shit right.
That's where the bitterness comes in. So
Right.
it depends on that right there.
The bitterness.
It's like, what was the breakup for? Maybe she, so maybe now she's bitter. Maybe now he's bitter. Whoever's getting put on child support, saying like somebody's bitter in that situation. So
I think when it
which
comes
is
to
sad
when
because it shouldn't be.
Sorry, when it comes to child support, I feel like everybody look at it as a bitter situation. No, nobody know the circumstance. Nobody know what's going on. But like,
Right,
they gonna say you bitter,
Yeah.
you this, you that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
That's
that comes with it all the time, and it's like it's not fair.
Mhm.
But you want to know the reason why, though?
Why?
Well, for me, it's because what is child support for?
To support,
Support
your
your
child.
Is it? Because
Yes.
that's not really what they lay it out to be in court. They basically say that shit could pretty much go to everything. Because if it was really to support the child, it would be some stipulations to know what's being,
For the
just like
percentage.
fucking WIC.
In the state
There's
of Connecticut,
stipulations on WIC
There will be
where
stipulations
you
on
could spend the
spending.
money on.
Yeah.
There should be stipulations on that child support money, what you could spend it on. Not saying that, all right, you can't get your kids Jordans, you got to get them Walmart. I'm not saying that, but it's like, nah, you're not about to go out.
So you saying you don't want to see that car pulled out the bar?
You feel
Pretty
me?
much.
at the bar with the state of Connecticut, there is no like. They say child support is for the child. It's an open book for you to
Do
spend it on
whatever.
There is no limits. There is no cap. There's no
Right.
nothing on child support.
Because the mother still got lights, the mother still got gas, but the guy does too, though. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But listen, so let's talk about that. So if the child lives with the mom,
75% of the time.
75% of the time, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are expenses when you have the child for a longer period of time.
Mhm.
But let's talk about this whole 50-50 thing, or if you guys have split custody, or in your case, where you have full custody of your daughter. I feel like a lot of times men or people think that if you have your child 50% of the time, oh, I don't got to pay child support because I make what I make, she make what she make, but we have our child half the time. And in Connecticut, that means absolutely nothing.
Right.
Nah,
If you make 50K, well, if your child's mother makes 50K and you make 150K, you are paying child support even if you have your child
Absolutely.
Monday through Thursday.
And that's crazy though.
that's wild.
It's
Because
I feel like
That's wild.
so if we
That's
could
fucking
split
extortion.
if we could split like week by week, you have them 1 week, I have them 1 week. Why should anybody have to pay child support?
because state of Connecticut, I'm only speaking for state of Connecticut. State of Connecticut feels as if the child should have the same kind of lifestyle or be exposed to the same kind of financial situation no matter where they are in the home because the child did not request to be living in different homes and the child had nothing to do with the breakup. So if you got a mansion and you got access to lobster, steak, and caviar, they want that child to be eating the same shit when they at the mom house.
You're gonna
And
have
that's
that
it.
access at mommy house because mommy got all the daddy money. But when you come to daddy house, you're gonna have that Burger
That
King, that ramen.
Got ramen.
Yeah.
He said, "Ramen."
That ramen. If I'm making 70K, and they taking, I don't know, $600, $700 out of my check, should you be responsible for other things when your kid, or not even when your kid come over? The mom calls and says, your kid needs, what we got, school coming up? Yeah, your kid needs these new Jordans. He's asking for them. What should be the answer to that?
Well,
Go ahead.
honestly, it depends on what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
For my situation, I get less than $82. I get $82 a week if we're gonna put it out there. As of
Oh, so you did go down?
for child support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, so you no, 'cause I remember when you said when you were talking about you didn't get no assistance. I thought you were saying across the board.
No, well, at the time when I went for child, I didn't get child support. My daughter's 12 years old. I didn't get child support for out of these 12 years. I want to say maybe 7 or 8. I can't for a very long time. So, but anyway, when you're paying let's say your order is under $100. I'm just gonna put it out there because I don't want to be specific, right? If your child calls you, like my daughter's at the age where she can make her own call and be like, I want these sneakers, or I wanna go to Six Flags, or I want to do this. I personally feel like as a father, if your child calls you and says she wants to do this, I don't feel like the father should be like, well, go ask your mom. Because I paid her $83 a week, so she can take that $83 and go buy a $60 ticket at Six Flags. I think that's corny to me.
That's petty
as hell, and I feel like the child should not get involved. But if you paying $600, $700, $800 a month, I ain't gonna hold you. I would be satisfied with that. I probably wouldn't call your phone at all. I mean, I don't call, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't. To me, it's like, okay, I think that's sufficient enough to take care of the child and do what we got to do. And there shouldn't. I'm not gonna say there shouldn't, because as a father, if your child needs something, and if you're with your child, you do what you got to do for your kid.
Shit, my phone shouldn't be ringing then.
I mean, that's just for me. And in my situation, if I was getting something like that, I personally feel like I don't need to make that call. My daughter don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's enough. But then again, it all depends on the situation. It depends on where the child goes to school. A lot of different things. But that's just my take on it.
My take?
What you think? It's different for you. Like
It's
$6
very
is
different.
fucking wild.
I don't call for anything. I take my $6 and I let it pile up.
Hold on, how do they send you that shit?
Oh, it goes through Connecticut. So Connecticut is my voice. So they send it to PA, go through PA court.
As long
now
as they
he has
ask
to
us,
send his payments through Connecticut. And
A card?
Yes, it comes the same card that we all have.
Bullshit
in
ass
Connecticut,
card.
but it goes through. Yeah, I got my
The gray
SIM
one?
No. It's called SIM.
Oh, I was about to say.
Semi-one.
Oh, I don't get child support, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
It's
I don't
on the
know.
car, right?
Yep.
Oh, they give you all the money on the card now?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
He's at the ATM and everything.
I don't
She got tapped?
I don't call. I don't ask for nothing extra. I just do it. I just do it. I just do it because at the end of the day, if you know what you're giving.
Right.
So if you feel like that's making you okay at night, that
Nah, he fought for that.
Yeah.
that your
That's
child
fucked
is
up.
getting
fought for that.
$6 in child support
He fought for that.
and you feel like that's okay, then it's okay with me because I'm gonna get it done regardless. So
Definitely.
I
You
don't
solid.
call.
I mean, you
100%.
gotta get
I
it done
don't call.
regardless.
I don't call
He
Yeah.
solid.
at all, and we're good. We don't. I don't call. I don't beg. I don't
I
ask.
can't believe I'm
don't.
about to say this. I wish this motherfucker was in Connecticut right now so he could have ran his ass through.
Yeah,
Yo, it's like, I know they do.
It just don't.
Yo, that's crazy.
not worth it.
That's
It's not
that's
worth
tight.
it.
Nah,
It's
it's
really
not. It's too
not.
much shit for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's
nah,
why I don't
you-
call.
you-
Because
you-
I don't want to
nah,
get
you-
the
you
answer
told-
to. Oh well, I've even gotten. Can you take me off? I've
Yeah.
gotten that. Can you take me
what,
off?
man?
Because it's messing with his credit report or something. So
What?
he's
So
more
pay it,
concerned
My
about
shit is
his,
spot on.
yeah, he's more concerned about
Pay the
his
$6.
livelihood instead of making sure his
Get that
child in
straight.
Connecticut is good. And honestly,
Does he have other kids, if you don't mind me asking?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but they're older. So my son is the only one that's on the
Okay.
order
Yeah.
at this point. But yeah,
Is there ways to lower child support?
I don't
Not
think
for
he-
you,
oh.
but like
I'm gonna say
in general.
lower it.
if
Like,
the person that's on child support goes and they ask for a modification to lower it
Yes.
because of their circumstances, yes, they can get it lower.
but can you get smoked trying to get it lowered?
If
Yes.
Yeah.
if you go and they run your Social Security through the system
They
and
see
they
you
see
got
what
a couple
you making,
raises?
yeah,
Yes.
Making money?
you're gonna
Oh,
go
yeah, for sure.
higher. So
Yeah, you can go
that's
higher,
why
yeah.
a lot of people just
Leave it
leave
as
it where
is.
it's at.
Yep.
That's me right now. Cause
Yeah, they leave it where it's at.
the lady, I called the lady and I was trying to do something, and then she was like, "Yeah, let me pull up your file." She was like, "You got 2 kids?" I was like, "No, I got 1. This one I didn't have my son." I was like, "No, I got 1." She was like, "You're paying $600?" I said, "Yeah, I mean that's what they gave me." She was like, "That's not right." I was like, "Well, what should I do? Cause if it ain't right, let's make it." You know what I mean? She was like, "Well, honestly, I'm not gonna give you legal advice, but if I was you, I wouldn't go down there." She was like, because it was like 3 years in, so I've gotten raises.
Yeah.
So she was like,
Oh,
it's a good chance
Now
that,
good now because
Well,
I couldn't do
like,
that.
as a guy, you could be bitter too. I was hot for like
Oh,
5.
I would too.
What? I was hot.
I would too.
5 years. I'm like, I'm literally writing shit out. Like, how can I approach her so we won't argue? So I can ask her if I can get off, or I can ask her like, yo, we can do this. Literally writing shit, and I don't write. I don't like reading. I'm like, let me write this out and text it to her. You know, being as though we've been parenting great. I'm on that type of shit. And then like 5 text message. Fuck you. That's where we at with it now. Fuck you. I shouldn't even have wrote this. Yeah. So I think after like 7 or 8 years old, I was like, I'm living with this now. It is what it is. I'm never asking again
Yeah.
because I'm stressed trying to
Thinking.
get off
Yeah.
when I know I can hit a little bit of overtime,
Yep.
get back to where I need to be. I already done structured my whole life now around it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even really dealing with it no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hot.
Yeah.
6-7 years
Nice.
bitter.
See, I mean, I could talk about it now. All right, but right. See,
He over the hump.
our shit was toxic out the fucking gate. I think the day that her and I broke up, shit was fucking problematic that day.
That
All
day.
right.
So she,
That day.
so
All
she
right?
went down to the child support.
I was on
looking
child
like-
support that night. My nigga said that shit was yeah, nah, Marcus, yeah, you got a court date, nigga. Nah, I was in there like
Hey, yo.
immediately, right? Yo, I was working at like this when I was in the food business. I was working like Chili's, shit like that. Wasn't making no fucking money. You know what I mean? Just working mad hours and shit. And I knew right out the gate that, you know, as we were talking about before, we aren't cordial.
Yeah.
This is not gonna be a functional fucking parental circumstance.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And shit was like this every
Damn.
fucking day. Every day. Every day. And then when the courts got involved, I learned that it could get worse.
Yeah.
And I
They
was
start
like,
telling
wow.
you what to do.
Yeah, but
That's
the
where it
thing
get
is, I'm
real.
like, yo, this woman ain't what y'all think she is. And y'all helping her.
She had a lawyer?
No, she ain't need one. They
That's
believe
fine.
everything she said.
That's why it's. Just that's why
Women
get a
state.
lawyer.
They believe everything she fucking said. Everything. Everything.
You
know what I
believe
mean?
in joint custody 50-50? Like I'm talking
Like
about like
straight 50-50,
straight
real
50-50.
50-50.
I
I'm
would
down
love
for that.
that. I
I'm
do.
down for
Yeah.
that.
I
But
would
you got,
love it.
well, unfortunately, I will say this: a lot of fathers don't stand up.
Yep.
A lot of fathers don't stand on 10.
Yep.
All right, and we can call that shit like it is. All right, and they shouldn't get 50-50 because they gonna do the fucking bare minimum.
But they
All right,
don't
with
just
that
give that shit
50-50.
out though, huh?
Oh
You,
no.
you
Well,
gotta prove.
hold on. In order to get 50-50 or I want to say joint custody, but like 50-50 schedule, the man has to he has to want that. Like you don't just go to court.
Yeah, you have to
And
want
yeah,
it.
you
Ask
the man
for it.
you have
Yeah.
to ask
You
for
have
it.
to put a
Like if you don't
petition in.
ask for it, they are not going to grant it to you. Like they're gonna look at it as the mom is a primary parent, etc., etc. You have to
That's
go to court and say I want this.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like men like. No, like not in your situation. Your situation is completely different because I can see that you're an active father. But then again, I don't know your scenario, so I can't just. You know what I'm saying? But
I got you.
a lot of times, like men, they don't want to be around. They don't want to do. They don't want to help. They don't get the child. They don't see the child. Don't nothing. But they're complaining about being on child support. So it's kind of like you have to want to have 50-50. Being on 50-50 will help you. If we're making the same amount or we're making somewhat close to the same amount, you probably won't have to pay child support, or you may just pay the $6 in child support. That not in your situation because I know it's different. I gotta keep. You know what I'm saying? But if a man wants that, it can be in his favor. Most men don't step up and do what they got to do as a father, and that's why the system is not. That's
No,
I'm
you
scared. I'm
get
scared.
it.
I'm scared.
But I don't get that though.
And
Like
in the next
Get what?
topic, we all chose a lot of us chose the wrong fucking parent. To have
hey,
fucking babies with. So
on the
like,
next
that's-
episode of Talk
the
Wavy.
next episode, like let's talk about fucking accountability.
Yeah.
Right? Because we all put ourselves in this circumstance because I never should have had a baby with who I had a baby with.
Oh, you hit that
you hear
on
me?
the
Yeah.
nose. You
That
definitely
nigga, yo, I swear to God, yo, I see that nigga. Oh my God, nigga.
red flags.
Woo,
Red
Supposed
flags.
to say he in
Yeah,
town.
you see the
my
red
nigga,
flags.
I swear, oh, shit, I know you from that looking shit, though, right?
When I see
oh,
you.
man, bro, you see this? Oh,
See other stuff too.
nah,
so,
see, like, you
but
know what I mean, like, and that's not something that gets talked about enough, especially between people our age and shit like that, right? Accountability, yo, we should have never had these fucking kids with the people we had these fucking kids with.
process.
I,
Did you see changes in your kid? You know, attitude. You know, demeanor. Did they know about it?
Nah.
my son is young. He's still young, so no, he doesn't know about the ins and outs, but he does feel like we live 4 hours apart. So he
Good
gets
for him,
that.
boy.
He doesn't see him. You
Right.
know, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
He
you
wants
know,
to though.
He
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to. He doesn't see him. You know.
It's scary
so-
when they get to that point where
Right.
it's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, like I think he's to that point
Yo,
now.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard.
You know.
Yeah.
Or it's like my son feels it where it's like his father is always a season late. So if my son is into Spider-Man
That
this
gave me
season,
chills. Season late.
last season he might have been
shit's
into
heavy.
baseball or something. So now I know he's into Spider-Man, so I'm getting him all the stuff that he's into. But his father's always late, so his father get the old stuff that he was into last year. So he sees that and he's like, you know, oh, it's from my dad.
It's gonna add
But
up.
you know, like, so he feels that. But other than that, no, he doesn't. He doesn't know that he only gets $6 a week.
So with my daughter, I mean, obviously, she never felt it because in my situation is similar to her situation because my child's father was in a different state for many years. So it was the same thing. Like she knew he was in another state. She didn't really see him, nothing. So she didn't feel it to find the financial part of it. But as far as like that active role, she felt it that way. But very similar to her son. Like, you know, now my child's father is back in Connecticut, and it doesn't change anything because it's still the same thing. So she don't know. I mean, she don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
and that's that. And yeah,
Jack, about you, bro?
My
She's
daughter-
17.
Yeah, I mean, she went. It was crazy. Our scenario was really crazy. She went through. She got bounced around a lot. She lived with her grandmother. She lived with her great aunt. She lived with my mother.
Oh,
And,
damn.
yeah, so she was bounced around because I mean, I don't know. Like the probate court did some wild shit with our case, and somehow, I don't know. Like that's another story, right? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that really happened. So I know it affected my daughter. Um, she never really spoke though. You know what I mean? She was real
Yeah.
quiet. You know what I mean? And so I really couldn't figure out what was going on. But you know what I mean? I could see it in her face. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could tell.
No, you can.
Yeah, I know my girlie. So I'm like, I seen it like just could tell she was confused and shit. So I would try to monitor myself, cause like I told y'all, me and her mother, you know, we was really, you know, at it a lot.
What about your daughter?
My daughter, now, I feel like I could pull stuff out of her, but back then she was real innocent. You know, wouldn't say stuff. Um, I ask her questions here and there to see how she feel about certain things, cause we still like do everything separate. I'm not. This is gonna have a lot of controversy, but I don't believe in co-parenting. I don't like that shit.
Like, hold on.
You're not
You
gonna.
gotta elaborate.
Yeah.
Let me hear that.
I know what
I'm
you're
gonna
saying.
do
though.
what I do at my household.
Yeah.
You gonna do
Yeah.
what you do over there.
Okay.
I don't. Nah.
So no birthday parties, share birthday
No.
parties.
I tried because I tried all that,
Okay.
Okay.
and I'm not begging you to do shit with me with my kid
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's a setup for her to be sad. If you think mommy and daddy's gonna be here, and then we fuck around and get into an argument, that shouldn't change us still, you know. So nah, I don't. Only for me, I'm not saying I don't believe that anybody should.
You don't for your
Me,
situation.
yeah, for
you don't
me,
believe in co-parenting.
nah, co-parenting. And my wife, she always look at me when I'm crazy, like I'm crazy when I say that shit. And
But I know what you
she
mean.
be like, "Yeah, I need
You know what I
this
mean?
and that," but it keeps me sane,
Mhm.
and it keeps her wherever she at doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So as
I'm
far
good.
as like holidays, if you celebrate them and stuff like that, like Christmas, no.
My house.
What do you need? Like, let's
No.
go 50-50.
No.
No. You just, so if she get double, she just get double of
So
whatever.
y'all don't
Yeah.
no like communication. Like, okay,
Maybe like last year, this year, last year, the year before. She
Mm.
wants this, she wants that. All right, cool.
Mhm.
It's crazy because it's getting better
Mhm.
as child support's about to be over year by year,
Mm.
and I don't like that shit. Like,
Okay.
don't ha me now.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, it's cool
You know,
now.
It's
That
yeah,
shit
you
about to dry
feel
up.
me?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, nah, I don't want to ever talk to you. Nah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, last year, the year before, she'd be like, Layla want this, Layla want that, and I'd be like, all right, well, I'm getting this, that. But she's getting older now, so I'd be like,
Layla.
6 toys, and you give 3 away,
Mm-hmm.
because
Word.
you older, you're not young where you get all
Yeah.
that extra.
Right.
But yeah, there's no Easter, whatever, you go wherever, but we not partnered on nothing. Because you ain't giving me half my money
So
back.
Yeah.
Damn, I
I have
guess
ups
everybody
and
like
downs
that, huh?
about that because I've tried to co-parent with the birthdays and the holidays and stuff because I know I'm with my son all the time. I know what he likes. I know what he wants. So it just doesn't sit well with me when the father is like, "No, you do you. I'm gonna get whatever I want," because now he got 5 Spider-Men
Yeah.
because we could have agreed to
Yeah.
say,
I
say
hear
you could get this or that. I don't want the money. You can get this, you can get that, or whatever. Or if it's something big, all right, I bought him a go-kart. It was $500. I'll show you the receipt. We can go half on that. So,
Nah, I
you know what I'm saying? So it's just
Let me see.
whatever.
Yeah.
So now last year we did a trip for Christmas. That was my gift to my kids. And
Mhm.
I allowed my son to go and spend Christmas with his father. And my son felt the difference. He felt mommy's house, I get all this stuff.
Mhm.
Daddy's house, mommy, I don't want to go over there anymore for Christmas. I'll go after
Yeah.
because,
Try to have a good day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I felt
Try
like
to wake up
if we were
Facts.
always on the same page as co-parenting, he wouldn't have felt like that when
Yeah.
he went
Right.
Yeah.
over there for Christmas. So
But that's
you
the,
know.
and that's another reason why, when it comes to like Christmas and shit like that, I always hear females say, you know, I don't want my kid to be disappointed. I was like that too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have her disappointed because if I say I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z, and she know I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z, no argument is gonna stop me from getting X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And it did that in the past on her side.
Right.
And I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, so I'm just gonna stick to, if this is your list, all right, give me the whole list, and I'm gonna get what I can, and you know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how I am with it.
I wish I had the opportunity to co-parent. Like I'm hearing these stories and I'm just like, I wish I wish I could even have someone saying, well, no, I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't got that. It's none of that. It's non-existent. So it's kind of like, you know, I just
Damn.
it's not there. Like I wish I can get a call and say, hey, you know, our daughter's birthday is coming up. You know, I
Even
want
the
to take her.
birthdays?
I want to take her for half the day, or I wanna get her a cake. I wish I could. I wish I could have the opportunity to be like, okay, I'll buy the candle.
Right.
There is none of that.
You think your
So-
daughter gets
That's
tired
the
of you?
same with me.
Huh?
You think she get tired
I
of you?
know she gets tired of me. No, I'm joking.
Even though you doing everything,
Yeah,
like
no,
like jokingly, you think she be like,
it has an effect on kids because it's like, you know, in my situation, like I said, like I'm the only one and only. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like everything, and I don't. It's not a complaint or it is what it is. I've been doing this. I've been holding it down, but it's more so of like, you know, I see other, like my boyfriend, like, you know, he's very active in his daughter's life. Like he don't play that mess, and it's like when we do things all together, like you know, we have a great time, but sometimes I can see in my daughter's face that like she wants that with her father.
Yeah.
oh
So it's
my-
like, you know, we
That
like
right
we
there?
have a loving family. We like my side of the family, even her dad's side of the family is 100% there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she has a great support system. But it's like, I know when she sees certain things, and I hate to do this on like, but I know when she sees certain things, it's like she will say like, I wish I could experience that
Right.
with my dad. So I'm all for co-parenting. I wish I had the opportunity to co-parent, and whenever I decide to have more children, I learn my lesson so good. I feel like I'm gonna pick the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? I know my next, you know, child's father, we gonna be, because I learned my lesson so well that it's like I see the signs, if that makes sense.
So I'll cut this out if you want me to, but does your boyfriend co-parent with his daughter's mom?
Well, he has 50-50.
Okay.
So
You got
I don't wanna
50-50?
put- He got 50-50.
my gosh.
My man got 50-50, okay?
yeah.
You can keep that. Just real quick, and this is not, I don't want to stop talking, but like I would never ever deal with a man who's not actively, and when I say active, that's why I ask you like, what is an active father? Because some men say I'm an active father. I
Don't be
pick
doing shit.
I pick up my daughter every Saturday and I drop her off on Sunday. Everyone has their own definition,
Right.
but to me,
That's not.
Nah,
you
that's
gotta
not
you gotta be there. It's not just certain days. It's like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying, it's picking up from school, it's doctor's appointments, it's everything. So
right.
I would never ever deal with someone or be with someone or and be around someone, even friendships, if a man is not, anybody, man or woman, is not taking care of their child. So
I was real open as far as like with my son father,
Yeah.
like on social media and everything. Like everybody seen our relationship. Like it was good. Like I never had a chance to have an experience with a parenting, co-parenting experience or a relationship experience, like because my daughter, her father passed away when I was pregnant.
okay.
So I was very, very careful on not wanting to deal with anybody from Connecticut. I just had that guard up. I didn't want to have another kid with somebody from Connecticut. So when I met him, you know, he came with baggage, he came with kids, but the kids kind of, you know, we all got attached. He had a daughter that was my daughter's age. We were good. He was great with his kids. His kids were always here, you know, so I can't say that it was always bad. I don't know where it turned bad,
Right.
but it turned bad. And, you know, that's just, it's sad because a lot of people wouldn't have expected that from him, being that me and him were together prior to having my son, how good he was with my daughter, how good he was with his kids when he was here. So it's a shocker to when people really hear, like, really? Like, he does that? Like, he really only $6? Like, Amari don't see him, like,
That's
and he's
crazy.
missing out on
Yeah,
a
a lot.
beautiful
That's crazy.
young you know,
That-
my
that-
son.
They always
So,
say you don't know who you really having a kid with until after you have
Have the
a kid
kid,
with them.
right.
Right.
It
That's
just
true.
shit
Facts.
changed.
true.
I was trying to tell my
Shit
wife.
changed.
She was like, "You ain't see these signs when y'all was."
No, you
no,
don't see
didn't
them.
see the
You
signs.
don't.
Sometimes
see
you a little
them.
mesmerized. I mean, sometimes you see a little like
You
a little
see
red
it
flag.
a
A little bit.
You
A little
You got-
bit.
it gotta do with
but
your
you
age,
like,
too,
nah,
though.
not me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah,
not me.
he
We
ain't
getting
gonna do that.
older.
We
He ain't gonna
locked
do
in.
that to me. You know,
Wow.
like we was there. We, you know, we lived together. We did the baby shower together. Like he was there. He's from New York. Family came down from New York. Like we were there. Like probably up until my son turned 2, he was there. He was active. He was there. But after 2, that's another story.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that off
Shit just
camera because
switched,
you
yeah.
might want to
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to have another episode about this.
Were y'all beefing with the families?
Oh, I don't talk to nobody. Nobody gets through. Nobody gets through my line.
No, no,
Yeah, nobody gets through. No, nobody.
damn.
I don't talk to anybody.
Nigga paying $6.
Yeah, I
nigga.
don't talk to anybody.
Nigga, hell no. I ain't even for that.
That-
But I
That's
That
agree.
line is cut.
That nigga.
Yeah.
Because it's just other things that
No.
happen after
Yeah,
my
yeah.
son that
Yeah.
Oh,
is
I
brought
I
to
get
that,
what you're saying.
and
Yeah,
we'll go off camera and talk
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
I should write a book.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I
Call
should
that
write a
shit
book.
$6.
Crazy. I just don't understand.
That's fucking crazy,
$6.
man.
That shit would go
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
So do they try to have like a relationship and like are they like if you don't mind me asking like do they actively try or are they just like
My son's father?
The-
Does he?
like no like his family?
His mother, absolutely not. Now my son's his siblings are older.
Okay.
His oldest sibling is his oldest brother is 20 something, and then down to the youngest, my son is 8. Down to the youngest is 4. I feel like in my situation, child support was necessary because he wasn't holding down his end because
Right.
he's all the way in Pennsylvania. So
What end is the nigga holding down? The nigga buying you a sandwich a week? A month?
This was prior to the $6. Why he wasn't even, I try to come to agreement where it was send at least $50 a week or whatever because you live so far, and this is just for his daily needs. If he want McDonald's, if he want, a haircut or whatever, it's not gonna hurt your pockets.
Right.
We couldn't come to that, so it was just like, you know what? Since we can't come to a mutual agreement because you just don't want to. You want to do stuff on your own time, but I'm just trying to say, like, you can't because you're not physically here. You can't come. You're not going to come and bring my son to the barbershop
Right.
every 2 weeks. I got to do it. I don't want to keep having to call you and say, can you send me $20 to get your son a haircut? Like, just, say, be proactive.
Yeah.
We got to agree. Like, so I don't have to call you. You know where it's going. Like, and with us being together for so long, you should know what type of mother I am. So you should know, like, she's not going to be spending my money going to the club. She got her own money.
Right.
But if you can't come to that agreement, then now we got to bring the people involved.
Yes.
And if it's $6 that I get, guess what? It's $6 that I get, and it's more than what you was giving me.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. Like, so I don't ask for none. I take my $6 and
I mean, you could put
we
that
go to
$6 to
McDonald's,
the
and I
tip.
put 2 more to
Yeah.
it, and he
At
could
the
get a Happy
restaurant.
Meal.
That ain't
That's
gonna be
it.
enough for the tip.
That ain't even gonna be enough.
Nah.
You gotta throw that shit in the
We use
penny
the
machine
McDonald's
every
app,
week.
and we good.
Facts.
Yeah.
We good.
Throw that shit in the penny machine.
We get
You know what I don't like
McDonald's.
though?
What?
It's dudes that was in the
Oh,
court
shit.
that they have to physically bring the fucking money in.
Or they going to jail.
But my shit was just snatched right out my check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I ain't
How does that like I ain't get the option.
Let me get this one.
I would have been lit a couple times when I was mad. Like
Listen,
What you got?
listen. So, Marcus, I know you was like, it's a woman's world and all that rah. I'm telling you, I get you. But I'm telling you, a lot of times, these men, well, my child father, he know how to work the system.
I did.
100%. When I
Finessing
tell
it.
you, the reason why they have to go to court and they have to pay stuff is because you're constantly switching jobs, constantly moving around, not providing your address. They can't find you. They can't locate nothing. You can go literally
He's off the
years without paying. Years. No, nothing happened. In my situation, it was out of state for a very long time. Years. They have to find you. So a lot of times it's building up. They don't. Most of the time they have under the table jobs, all that kind of stuff. So there's ways around it where it's adding up, yes. But if you don't have no real job, if you living at your girlfriend's house, living at your cousin house, your sister
Yeah.
house. There's no way to find you. So like, yeah, a lot of guys on child support, they be mad they on child support and don't pay child support. How you mad that you on child support and not paying?
How you mad at you $6 and you and
How is he mad?
because he was one of the ones that had to bring the money to court and he wasn't doing it, so he was behind.
That's
so,
crazy.
You know what? I got tired of it and I drove them little 4 hours down there and was in front of the judge.
Country ass Amish
And
judges.
the country Amish people.
Listen,
And
It smell like a farm
you know,
out there.
like the judge was
You
like,
pulled up on a
the
wagon.
judge even said, this is the lowest order I've seen since I've been in court.
So why
How
the
are you
fuck you do
behind?
nothing behind
Do you have
that?
anything to say for yourself? Ma'am, do you have anything to say? I absolutely do. He got brand new journals on his feet, right? Them about $200, $300 right there,
Yep.
Judge. That can go to his order. So for
That's
him
like
to get
6
out,
months.
he's up to date now with his little $6 because he had to pay to get out.
yeah.
Because, come on, you
Listen.
playing at all our face.
I hired investigators.
God damn.
Yes, I did.
Cause you
I
gotta
did that.
find
'Cause
it.
you gotta do. Cause if you don't advocate for yourself or for your not for yourself for your child, it's gonna be a continuous cycle. And I got tired of it. I got tired. Okay, so I did do it. I did. Listen, listen. I had to do what I had to do.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I found out where he was living. Little girlfriend slipped me the address. So as soon as I got the address, hello, child support. Yeah, I got the new address.
He here.
Send that,
Yeah.
yeah, he's right here,
Yeah.
and they got his ass finally. Thank you.
See, me, I had social security numbers, so
Oh,
Oh,
I had
you
that.
was-
That didn't mean nothing. It didn't.
yeah,
mean,
we
it didn't,
had
that didn't mean
social
nothing for
security
me.
numbers. I knew the state, I knew the town, I knew the last known address, I knew baby mama's numbers.
See,
I
I
knew
be
everything.
knowing that shit. I ain't
So-
know none of that
No, I
type
ain't
of
know
shit
that.
when I was going down. They smoked my boots. I went in my uniform right after work, Department of Corrections.
Don't go with your uniform.
I'm looking real.
You
Yeah.
thought I was-
How much you make?
You thought you was on
Filling
the
out that
inside.
affidavit form, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I pay this for that. I pay this for that. Her, no job.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that.
They made her
Ooh.
get a paper and go look for jobs,
Yeah,
which is bullshit.
but they do that to the fathers too. When the fathers
Yeah, they made me do
Yeah.
that too.
But it's like, I feel like they really was gonna smoke me because it's like, yeah, she doesn't have nothing coming in,
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why your order is where it is now.
Right.
but that ain't got shit to do with me.
Yep.
Nah,
Yeah, but that's
crazy.
why, because she didn't have no
That's
income
crazy.
and you had a high income. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know this girl business, but I mean, she's probably, I know you don't want to go back to court, so I don't even got to
I'm not going.
But, you know, that's
I
why
ain't
your
going.
order is so high, because she wasn't working, you were working. There you go. To me, I will say this, the affidavit process is, I don't wanna-
Excruciating.
It's terrible. It's terrible because, like you said, you go there, I'm fill out, oh, I got a car note,
Yep.
I got to pay this amount in insurance, oh, I got this amount in credit card bills, I got to pay this for, the whatever, all these bills I have, I pay $600 for food. You could just lie up there.
Yep.
And for females, I'm gonna be honest with you, they don't verify none of that.
Hell
They don't
no.
verify nothing. They don't even want a receipt. They don't want to even see nothing.
They
You
took
could say
mine.
you have $0 in the bank, and I was just in Aruba last week, living it up. They don't care about that. But I will agree, and that's where it's messed up with the men. If you say, oh, I gotta pay this, this, and this. They want to see your rent agreement.
Yep.
They want to see your pay stubs. They want to see X, Y, and Z. And that's why I say, my friends, I'm gonna look in the camera. Get you a lawyer when you go to court, because your lawyer knows all of the credits that you can have. You just had another kid. That is a credit. Okay.
So I should go back.
I'm not saying you should. I'm not
You're
a
giving
lawyer.
me energy right now.
I am not.
You want to represent me?
I am not a lawyer, but I will tell you
Bro,
this.
go.
Don't go.
Your
Don't go,
circumstance-
bro.
I'll probably
No, no, I'm not gonna tell you
Nah,
that.
nigga,
No.
you like you doing all right, nigga. All right, nigga, stay here,
I'm doing
nigga.
all right, but
Stay here.
I want to do great.
Listen,
Nah.
just saying. Your attorney will fight for you. Your attorney will pull up their bank records. They're gonna want to see the woman. They're gonna want to validate everything that woman put there. And if they can't validate it, that's the first thing they're gonna go to court and they're gonna say, she said that she pays $700 in this, but we can't verify. They will go to court and advocate for you, and that's why you need an attorney. But I'm not an attorney, but you should get you one. But you're about to be off child support, so you're good.
I ain't on child support.
Oh, I love
Shit,
that for you.
shit, I'm like, what, 7 years out that shit, man? Please,
I wish.
man.
That shit almost made me not get my house.
Yeah.
That to
I can
income
see that.
ratio went crazy
Right.
high. I had to get a private lender, private money lender,
Yep.
because you know most commercial lenders they're gonna give you, but your income rates are gonna be high.
Yeah.
They saw that, they was like, yeah, nah, we can't because you got high debt to income.
Yeah.
Had to go to private money. They give you whatever, but that shit almost smoked me. Yep.
So you have like a,
Just grab me.
if you don't mind me asking, you have like a high arrears, like you owe a lot of
No,
back child
it
support?
ain't no arrears.
Oh, it was just because of the order
No.
itself.
Yeah, just the order
Ah,
itself.
okay.
When I went,
Monthly.
that lady was like, you don't want arrears? She was like, no, I'm fine. She was like, why? And I'm looking at the lady like I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you mean? She said no, like let it go. And then I had a second job, but I was only working like 2 weekends, and they was like, do you want to take from that too? They almost smoked, like I was almost at like 800.
That's
So
what I
how
was
much
saying.
do you guys think it takes to take care of a child? Like if there could be in a perfect
What
world,
age?
if the court was to say like, okay, between this age range, this amount is the max that a woman that can get, and this should be sufficient enough for her to care for the child,
I say
etc.
1 to 5 is the highest. Even though, like, yeah, when the boys get older, the sneakers, but Pampers every fucking 2-3 weeks.
It's
That
crazy.
shit adds up. So I think like 1 to
crazy.
5, the higher amounts. I think once they get to like 5 to 10, it should cut down because you're cutting out bottles, you're cutting out daycare at some point, which is a crazy.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's
they
crazy.
don't even talk about that.
Cause you still like they made me. I ain't even whatever.
So if it, like you were saying earlier, if they were to allot the money to go specifically, for things for your kid,
Yeah.
like, would y'all be okay with paying child support? Because now it's specifically really being used for your child.
I would, because I mean, for me, I still do whatever. I spoil the hell out of them. I don't care.
It was you still spend more. Like, let's say, like,
I
all right,
would.
like, you got to pay $200 to child support to the mother, but it's going to school supplies. It's a breakdown of where, like,
Yeah.
it's going to get declined if she try to go to happy hour.
I think men would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Painlessly.
Because if I know all of that money was exhausted on book bag,
Something
this
for
and
real.
all of that, and I'm like, damn, she still needs sneakers because ain't nothing left.
right.
Yeah.
The problem.
Like, yo, it went there. I'm gonna get these sneakers. You get those sneakers.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But she roll up with 2 fucking pencils and a notebook. Where's the money?
Where
Right.
the
Yeah.
supplies
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I definitely feel like if there was some type of articulation for the spendage, that would shut a lot of shit down. Right? I'm talking badly. I'm also not against parents, I'll just say, not having to show what they're spending the money on. Right? For instance, is $6 fucking.
Yes.
right.
The fuck gonna be spent on that?
Because I think
Know
the
what I'm saying?
majority of niggas ain't
Right.
doing what they supposed to do. So
Right.
You know what I mean? I think some there needs to be some type of track record on the spendage of it. I think that the parent who has the money should have to furnish fucking receipts. You feel me? Really, maybe not an articulation, but proof that shit's getting spent on what it gets spent. Cause I know for a fact, I've seen it. You know, we all know this. And I'm saying that shit be in the fucking club. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera.
I agree.
But with it being on a card now, there is a breakdown to where we spend it at. There's a
It's showcasing.
statement.
I don't keep it on
Yeah,
the
no,
card.
it shows.
I
It's a
get my stuff
statement.
changed. I take all.
is it? It's a statement.
Yeah, it's a
card.
it's
It's a debit card.
I
It's
want
an
to see
account.
that shit.
Yeah, it's a debit card.
I mean, unless she
That
has
shit'll
it set up
piss
to
me
go to her
off.
account, because you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can.
have it go to your account. I mean,
But
Yeah,
see,
you can
what's
see
$6,
everything.
So I just put it on the card, and then maybe I can.
They still don't care though. They don't care.
No, I'll check it.
they don't.
No.
I think that
I will say this though, like, I agree with the whole like 1 to 5, like that should be the high, and then 5 to 10. But I don't know. For me, my daughter's 12 years old, and I feel like things gotten like more real. I don't know. Like it's been. I don't know.
It does, yeah.
I
It
have
definitely
bad
does.
memory or sometimes because I be like, I don't remember it being like, I don't remember like really, I don't want to say struggling, but like it was hard. You had to make ends meet, yada yada yada. But it wasn't that bad for me back then. But it's like now my daughter got braces. She need this, she need that. It's like every 3-4 weeks I gotta buy new clothes because she getting older, she getting bigger. It's like I be like, damn, I feel like it's more expensive now for me
That's true.
than
Yeah.
any time. Like. You know what I'm saying? And there's like another thing too. So it's like my daughter got braces. Braces is not cheap. I thought braces came with insurance. I was shocked.
They don't?
It depends.
Shit.
No, well, not mine. Well, they give you like a little like a $1,000 off or something like that,
You gotta
but
pay that
you
rest.
gotta pay that out of pocket. Like I was shocked, so it's kind of like, okay, well now I gotta pay
Braces are only
$5,000
about
off
$5,000.
braces, but I'm not getting no child support, or I'm
About
getting,
braces either.
huh?
I said, I don't want to talk about braces either. All right? See,
My guy got stories.
I'm sorry to cut you.
No, you good.
So, baby mom called me up. She's like, okay, now I need braces. I'm like, yeah, I can see. You feel me? Them shits is this shit is ganging, right? So, I said, look, I said, not right this minute. I said, you know what I mean? I said, I don't got it right this second. I can't tie up to 5,000 right this minute, right? So what she do? She went and put the braces on her mom, right? Put them on. They paid the first 2 G's, and then told them, Dad gonna pay the rest.
Well, they can do that.
Let's put you in the jam.
They sent you a bill.
No, they called me. Them niggas talk to me.
Oh snap!
Wow.
That's just another thing that happened. You know?
Damn.
Yeah.
Just force your hand.
Yo, they made me
didn't
do
know
it.
they
And
could
then
do
it's like,
that.
and then what I'm gonna do? Look at my daughter and say, oh, not nigga, them, they gotta come on.
Right.
Feel
Yeah.
me? Nah, I can't. You feel me? Because her teeth is looking pretty. She feeling better about herself. So now see, my baby mother know that
How
my
you
daughter,
yeah.
she know how I operate. My daughter's,
soft spot.
I'm gonna do it, right? So yeah, I'll beef with her. But at the end of the day, my baby mother know, like, even if she took all my, if I just gave her 500, she spent that shit on some bullshit. If my daughter come to me and she's like, yo, Dad, I need, or whatever, and I think that's the bloodline with your children coming to ask you for some shit or whatever,
Yep.
I'm gonna bend because I'm gonna do it for my daughters. It's not about, for me, it was always about keeping that integrity with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, always, if my daughter come to me, ask me for something, she know that I got her.
But see that leads me to the last thing. Forcing you to get another job. Because for me it didn't force me to get another job because I had another job, you know, to basically make that money back up.
Oh,
But it forced me to lose time with my daughter. And it forced me to stay in the job that I am in now, that I didn't want to be in no more. Because I ain't trying to be in jail. You know what I'm saying?
So it works both ways too, because when you only getting $6,
That's a
you got
fact. Yeah. Yep.
2
And it's-
kids.
I'm
you
not
can't
using
take
it,
care of
yeah,
by
for
yourself.
sure.
You gotta also get another job too.
Right.
I work many jobs.
Right.
So, you know.
But as far as the dads though,
Mhm.
what I'm saying, like, they still want you to spend all that time, but
It's impossible.
it's
if you gotta
impossible.
Get a
It's
second
really
job.
impossible. You know what I'm
I
saying?
went and got a little bit more serious on the streets.
Yeah.
Because that's what it make you do. Because I ain't gonna get my time. I ain't about to sit there and work another fucking 30 fucking hours and make $350.
Yeah.
All right? I ain't doing that shit. So what I did is I went and got
Good to
connected
do,
the way I
yeah.
know how to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then with that, you know, the threats came. Oh, I know what you're doing. You selling da-da-da-da. You doing this. More yeah. But nigga, you the reason I'm going through this. You the reason why I gotta do this shit right now.
Yeah.
Because you're taking all my fucking check money.
Yeah.
And I have nothing no more. You
Right.
feel me?
So I assume like your order must have been high. Like it must have been.
It wasn't crazy, but see what the thing was, I had to pay. It was like, it was never lower than 70.
Okay.
68, I think it was,
Okay.
right?
But at the
But
time you
I
were young.
wasn't making no
Yeah.
money.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay? I wasn't making shit. So I'm like, how the fuck? Like, they was taking like a fifth of my check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we talking back in 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Come on, yo. You know what I mean? So like, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? My mentality was like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
You
That
know?
shit's weird though. It's because I mean, I hear it all the time. Women say it's no excuse. You should see your kid, but I mean,
How?
it's really as a guy when you say something, they look at you as you better just handle that shit. But if you
Yeah.
actually talk about it with emotion, like women ask us to, to do, realistically, that shit takes a lot of your time. That you like. Child support makes you have to go and get it some other way so you can live. And then that
Not that I
fucks
hear
up.
this, I understand. I do.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
get it.
It's a
I get
410.
it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, this shit made me go hit the block or whatever the case is. Nah, but I wasn't making nothing already. And then now I'm in this system, and she pulling me down to this shit every 2 to 3 months. I got constant court dates,
Missing work.
missing work. All right. I had a wild ass visitation because my visitation supported her work schedule, not mine.
Whew.
Okay, let's talk about it.
We gonna talk
Alright.
about it.
Let's talk about it.
Mhm.
All right, my visitation was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 7. What the fuck is anybody gonna do with that?
Yeah, that's
Somebody tell me.
4 to
Somebody
7.
tell me, right now. What you do from 4 to 7? What,
4
how
to
you-
7, especially
4
working in food
to
industry.
7.
You working those
Okay.
hours.
And then
that's crazy.
every other weekend. So that's 5 days this week, 3 days the next week that I had her, right? And every day that she was with me, because it was from 4 to 7, I did her homework with her. I fed her. So mom ain't do shit Monday, Wednesday, Friday, ever. Every other weekend, that was all me. She getting my money, bringing me through the ringer. I felt like I was extorted, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in a lot of ways. So it's
In
like,
that situation, I get it, because it's kind of like, and one, it's like, okay, you have that schedule. It's like, how can you find a second job with that? How can you go get
can't.
another job like that?
you can't. I barely
can't.
had a first job. All right, imagine being a 23-year-old, 24-year-old and going to get a job and telling them niggas, yo, I can't work Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 4 to 7.
And
So
every
I
other
can
weekend.
only work the mornings, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
That was me, bro.
That's the only time I could work for y'all.
I felt like a shit bag. Straight up shit bag. Cause I get mandated at work. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be out on this Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my wife, she gonna see this, she gonna be like, it still ain't no excuse. Cause that's how she is. She's like a mom. I know y'all moms too, but that's how my wife
Because
is.
I get it, like, yeah, 4 to
I-
7, but honestly, you can get an overnight job. I've worked overnights. You can get an overnight job.
I was on that.
You could've
Seven-
had a
I was on
job
that
for
for
night.
3 years and
I
was
hear
a
Four to
fucking
7,
zombie.
good. So then you
Yeah.
can work 11 to whatever.
But that
Like,
didn't align with any of the skills I had.
Yeah.
I was in culinary arts. So
Yeah.
why the fuck would I do a overnight?
Yeah.
What, where? You know what I'm saying? Or wherever the case may be. And I did. I used to work at Sam's Club overnight.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Me, you don't spend no time. You don't call. It's like you're like, again, you're not there. So it's
Yeah.
like, I expect that money
Right.
on
Absolutely.
Monday morning on my card,
I feel you.
because you're not
Facts.
there. You're not giving me the opportunity. And I requested, like, you want to do weekends so I can pick up a second job? You want to, like, help me, through the week so I could, like, get some time to myself? You want to, like, is there any way, something like that? No. So, like, me, if you got to pick up a second, third job, fourth job, you're going to do that because you're not in her life. You're not around.
Right.
I'm giving you the opportunity. You don't want to be. So therefore I'm going to go to court. I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to request that money. I'm going to stand in court, and I'm going to say, Your Honor, I want a lump sum payment of $2,000. If I don't get that lump sum payment, send his ass to jail, because you're not, and I'm being real,
Nah, I feel
because
you.
you are not in her life. So what you got to be walking out here for?
Yeah, that's
Nah.
totally.
What
with
you
you.
got to be
Totally
here?
respectful.
What you need to
I
be
got
out here
that.
doing? Nothing. You could be in jail. You ain't sit in there.
Do you think, Papa? How you feel, my nigga?
You gonna do what you gotta do. Period.
I completely understand what y'all talking about. All right, and I will acknowledge this. Okay, now yeah, this may be a woman's state, but because it's a woman's state, niggas learn how to finesse the system. 'Cause that's the only way that's the only chance we got to live. All right, to some type of normalcy, right?
so when you say that,
I'm about to break it down.
Go ahead.
All right, the way I used to do it. All right, once I learned what the system was doing to me, I started playing the game. Just like you were saying, you couldn't track your baby father down and shit like that, right? So I kept changing my jobs. I said, fuck this shit, right? I said, once they started doing it, and then once I learned that I would cause confusion by changing my shit, get another job. You heard? And then I just kept it moving. I was such a busybody, right? And then I would stop working. And then I would do carpentry. Straight cash.
but then doesn't it add up though? Doesn't it accumulate to where now you
If they
owe
can't
back?
find you, it can get to 50K.
I ended up having to pay a large arrearage, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up paying all my shit off, right? But I did finesse the system for a long time because I wanted to give her a hard time.
You
Because
finesse
she
me, I'm gonna
was a
finesse
problem.
you.
Yeah.
And that's why I got
They
an
was going,
investigator.
So when you in the rears, like I know that I always hear, but I don't know if it's true. Like you can't go out the country for certain things. Is that when you're in arrears, or you just
That means you can't get a pass. You
Can't
can't
get a
really
pass.
they'll stop you.
But
But
I
I
know
think
your
different
password.
states
Right.
have different things. Like I think
Yeah.
sometimes they might take your license from you.
Yeah,
Like
If
some-
you owe child
blocking
support.
over there.
Yeah,
you
like
have
if
like
you
a high-
own-
yeah.
it depends on the state.
Yeah, they
Like,
could do
you
some
lose
work.
your
to you.
license. You could, yeah,
They could do some work.
yeah.
You know any women on child support?
No.
Flip this, okay? When I got custody of my daughter, okay,
Mhm.
because of the circumstance that went down, if you see this, okay,
Hey, loyalty. Sorry,
I decided not to put her on child support
that's crazy.
because it is, but I'm trying to be a real nigga about shit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, because at this time now I'm doing better. I got my company now. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to catch flight, right?
Mhm.
And shit wasn't about money for me, right? It was never about money because I just hated the hassle with me just trying to be her father, right? I had to deal with that, a lot of baby mama drama because she wanted control. Like I said, for her it was about control. So once I started to break down her control, we had a lot of problems. I just wanted to be her father, man. You know what I mean? I ain't want nothing to do with her. I don't even fucking want to talk to you, right?
Was it hard to get that child support, that custody?
I took advantage of a circumstance that happened. It was quick.
Got you.
Opportunist's fault.
Mm.
So I
Shit.
felt something that happened, and I slid right in, and I got her.
Mm.
And because she was going through something, okay, I didn't want to make things harder for her, and I know the system is destructive. So I said, if I do this to her right now, right, I know it's gonna pen her up, and it's not gonna help my daughter's mother for my daughter, right? I know I did not get that same courtesy.
Right.
So did
You know
that
what
make
I'm
your relationship better after? Once you got the custody and you didn't
sound
go to
worse.
child-
Fuck no.
That's that sounds like it'll make it way worse.
No.
But can they take
Okay.
it back? Can they give child support custody back to the woman?
In the state of
No,
Connecticut,
she tried to get it.
they always
She tried to get it back. The crazy thing is, I didn't ask her for $1 for fucking 5 years. She took me back to court, tried to get custody from me. I went fucking berserk. Okay, berserk in the courtroom. I made her cry in the courtroom. It was bad. But I was mad offended. I'm like, at the fact that the court would even bring me here.
After,
Like,
yeah.
nigga, I've been
Entertain
fucking
this
holding
shit.
my daughter for fucking 5 years, and y'all niggas know this. And y'all let this woman bring me here for money, control, like she ain't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Or minimal. Okay? You did something. But it's not a nice system to guys. All in all, it's really not. I know it's sexist, very biased. You know what I mean? Men don't have a voice even if you make sense. Like, cause I came in there making sense a lot, and it just ain't.
Oh yeah, me
The
too.
way you sound.
Shit.
They ain't give a fuck.
They asked me right in the court. They said, Christmas is on the way. Are you gonna provide anything for your daughter?
No, they didn't.
Yo,
Yeah,
pissed
nigga,
me
Chris-
off. Got me hot. I'm like, little do y'all know.
They know
the last
that.
couple-
How the fuck they gonna
My
ask you
judge
that?
was on child support. He said it,
Mm.
but he didn't give a fuck. He was like, I was like, first of all, you telling me she got to be on my insurance, but she been on my insurance since she was born. So
Next.
you ain't, yeah, exactly. Next,
Wait, your daughter's on your insurance and oh wow. that's
absolutely.
crazy.
My daughter
Only
but-
fuck with real fathers.
And hold on, and hold on, we gotta say that shit again.
Only fuck with real fathers.
And that's listen.
That's
and
real
I said,
shit.
like I said
I
earlier,
don't got no respect for deadbeat niggas.
if you know me, I'm not gonna say I'm an advocate for child support, but all my friends laugh at me because I'm like I will talk about this.
Yeah.
But if you know me, you know that the second thing I do not play about is anyone who does not take care of their kids. If I meet a man, if I in the past, if I start conversing with you and you tell me you got a kid in the first 3 weeks, I don't hear you. I don't on FaceTime. I don't hear a cry. I don't hear you talk about you picking up from school. You doing homework. It's done. I don't play that mess because a lot of men like they want to give this facade that they are I'm a
Best
father.
dad in the world.
I'm this and I'm that, and really don't be about nothing. And
I
really
don't.
don't be on nothing.
I see it all the time.
No,
I see it all the time too.
I don't play that mess.
I
I
only
only-
dressed down to the T, and they don't do nothing for their kids.
Be on Facebook pictures,
Yeah. Or
you know,
have
events.
one picture
New whips.
that day with their kid because they just happen to have them that day. So they gotta make sure they take the
Take
pictures
the
that
picture.
day. You know, and that's not right.
I don't even play like that.
That's not right.
I don't even play like that. Carisha voice.